This all goes back to who's carrying what water for who. CNN, NBC, MSNBC, CBS, ABC, and all the liberal, progressive, douchebag, a-hole out there, news media outlets, have been carrying the water for the Democrats forever. There's an angle about our news media in the United States that essentially they all collude together. When the Project Veritas video came out about Charlie Chester and CNN, meaning that they're pushing active propaganda, they're pushing a narrative that's obviously fake, you would think that other news agencies, I'm not going to talk about Fox News, OAN, or Newsmax, but these other news agencies like MSNBC, NBC, CBS, ABC, that they would go, hey, look what CNN's doing. They're obviously in the tank for the Democrats. They're obviously pushing a narrative that's fake. They're obviously lying to you. You'd think that they would try to garner more viewers from that CNN pool, but they're not. But listen to what this, I think he's from Australia, Robert Graziani. This is a 30-second clip, and he basically illustrates what I just put out in front of you. And here is that clip.
Wouldn't it be interesting if some of the true, what we thought were rivals to CNN, i.e. MSNBC, ABC, CBS in America, actually used this story, which is newsworthy, to actually discredit their alleged rival, such that ratings go from CNN to these other networks, but they don't do it. So it gives the strong suggestion, if not evidence, that they're all actually colluded in the same narrative.
Robert Graziani basically succinctly puts that they are colluding. They're colluded. They're not independent news organizations. They are all part and parcel of the Democrat war machine, the Democrat propaganda arm. They don't go out of their way to, check and balance each other. They don't. They all believe the same thing. Case in point, last night I sort of came across an ABC, David Muir was the news reader. He's not a newscaster, he's a news reader. And they were talking about it was back in the Trump administration when the intel came out that Russia was paying Afghani or ISIS terrorists to kill American soldiers, giving a bounty, say, hey, if you guys go out and kill American soldiers, we'll give you X amount of dollars. And Donald Trump says, that's bullcrap, that's fake, that's bogus. And then, of course, the Democrats and all the lamestream media came out and said, yes, look, Trump doesn't care. This is 100% proof. Really? Look at this. From the Daily Caller. Schiff and Swalwell went all in on dubious Russia bounty story. Now, obviously, this is a site that leans more right than left. But, again, the news media on CBS, NBC, ABC, etc., they're not talking about it. Why? Because it doesn't fit their narrative. They don't want to push it. They don't want to talk about it. Because they like these two cocksuckers right here. These two fucking grifters. These two pieces of shit, goddamn socialist commie fucks. They don't care about that. They support these guys. They carry water for these cocksuckers. Of course they're going to not talk about it. Of course they're not going to parse through the data. Of course they're not going to investigate it. This is what they do. This is what they always do. Two Democrats on the House Intelligence Committee hyped news reports last year that President Donald Trump turned a blind eye to intelligence that said Russian government was paying bounties to Taliban fighters to kill American troops. On Thursday, the Biden administration dealt the theory a major blow, saying that the U.S. intelligence community has only a low to moderate confidence that the intelligence is accurate. Schiff and Swalwell were also leading proponents of this since debunked claim that Trump campaign colluded with the Russian government. There you go. Schiff and Swalwell, along with other Democrats, used reports of the alleged bounty payments to accuse President Donald Trump of turning a blind eye to Russian aggression against the United States. Schiff, the chairman of the House Intelligence Panel, accused Trump and other Republicans of refusing to confront Russia President Vladimir Putin over the alleged bounties. In a tweet on August 27th, Schiff said that their silence put U.S. troops in danger. I know you can read that tweet. And then Shitwell, who colluded with China, who was banging a Chinese prostitute, who was banging a Chinese honeypot, intelligence actor for the Chinese Chi-Com government, accused Trump of not supporting U.S. troops, saying that the Republican hasn't said poop, shit, Schiff, shit, about serious allegations Russia is paying bounties to kill them. The two Democrats also pushed a since debunked theories of collusion between Trump campaign and Russia were responding to reports first published by the New York Times. On June 26, the Times reported that U.S. officials believed that the Russian intelligence had paid Taliban operatives to kill American troops in Afghanistan. What's more, according to the initial Times report, Trump had been briefed on the intelligence but done nothing in response. Cracks soon emerged in this story. For one, Trump was not directly briefed on any intelligence regarding the bounty payments. The Times subsequently reported some intelligence was included in a presidential daily brief that was reportedly not communicated to Trump. Some U.S. officials, including military officials, also doubted the credibility of the intelligence. The Biden, or potato administration, appears to broadly concur with Trump administration's interpretation of the intelligence. On Thursday, U.S. officials told reporters that the intelligence committee has low to medium confidence in the allegations. Quoting from somebody, the United States Intelligence Committee assesses with low to moderate confidence that Russian intelligence officers sought to encourage Taliban attacks U.S. and coalition personnel in Afghanistan in 2019 and perhaps earlier, a U.S. official told reporters on Thursday. Officials say the intelligence came from a detainee reporting suggesting that the captured Taliban fighters were the source of the bounty claim. Schiff's office did not respond to a request, of course they fucking didn't, for a comment about the Biden administration's assessment. Schiff and Swallow's past comments about bounty allegations are listed below, and you can see them right there. This all goes back to who's carrying what water for who. CNN, NBC, MSNBC, CBS, ABC, and all the liberal, progressive, douchebag, a-hole cocksuckers out there, news media outlets, have been carrying the water for the Democrats forever. This is what they do. They talk shit. They say, well, we heard this report from this unnamed source. Unnamed source, why don't you tell it? Nope, can't do it. That's journalism. Okay, fine. But they don't actively investigate it. They don't parse through the fucking data. They don't parse through the goddamn intelligence. They take whatever these two cocksuckers say as the gospel truth on whatever claim they had about Trump. Now that they got their goddamn potato in office, the news media sort of ignores this shit that slowly gets leaked out and says, yeah, well, it was low to moderate. We don't really know if it was true. But at the time, it was 100% true. Trump is doing this. He's ignoring this. He wasn't ignoring anything. He probably saw them and goes, is this true? And they're probably like, no, it's probably low to moderate. And they're like, well, can we investigate it more? Yeah, but, you know, I came from a detainee in Afghanistan. We pulled him out of a ditch somewhere, and he basically claimed this. Well, is there any truth to that? Well, it's low to moderate. Well, then I guess we're just not going to worry about it until we find out more information. Then, of course, the media gets it and goes, see, Trump doesn't care. And these two cocksuckers right here are like, see, Trump doesn't care. He's actively trying to get troops killed. No, he wasn't. No, it wasn't. This is what happens when you have the news media actively ignoring shit from CNN saying that this is propaganda and not using it to bolster their ranks, improve their ratings, improve their PR, actually try to draw in more people on the right side of the political spectrum. What do? They go, fuck it, whatever. We're going to ignore it. These two cocksuckers right here, Swalwell and Schiff, are pieces of human shit. They're goddamn fucking degenerate fucks. And everyone in the news media who was on CBS, NBC, CNN, MSNBC, ABC, the national, whatever these cocksuckers out there who are on the left side of the political spectrum, who don't go through the intelligence, who don't go through their sources, who just take everything for, it's anti-Trump, put it out. You're fucking cocksuckers. You're degenerate fucks. You're enemies of the people. You're enemies of the United States. You fuckers can go straight to goddamn hell. Fuck you and fuck the horse that you rode in on, you cocksucking pieces of shit. This is what pisses me off about the goddamn news media. They are against you. They are against they're against your family. And for you people out there that don't investigate and don't go through the data and don't go through the intelligence and don't question these cocksuckers, you are the enemy of this country as fucking well.